Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet again another great episode of your favorite podcast. You guys ready?
Ready.
Arcade Parlor. I don't know how that. I don't know how this ever turns out until we hear it in the end. I don't know how any of this turns out.
We set the tone.
Yeah, we sure do. We absolutely do. Welcome in, everybody. I am your host, Pancho Taco, also known as David. Today's date is Saturday, May 6th. May the 6th be with you. May the 6th be with you. The time is 3:10 p.m. Eastern, and we are super happy to have each and every one of you here. I look around the room here. We have with us, I see Ashley.
Hello.
Hello, Ashley.
Hello, Pancho Taco.
How are you doing?
I'm just wonderful today. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. It's been a very busy day. Very busy day. Well,
yeah.
We can talk about that later, but I'm good now. I'm good now. How are things in Florida?
Today it is 86 degrees and cloudy, so nice and humid. You walk outside, it just feels like you're walking into a waterfall. Yep, humidity is upon us.
That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. I'm not going to lie.
And of course, I'd be amiss to tell you that I'm not in a wonderful mood because our Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in 6 days, 4 days when this releases.
You're right.
I know.
Tears of the Kingdom. Well, I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about Tears of the Kingdom coming up. There's been a lot of stuff with Tears of the Kingdom that's come up in the past week. Some good stuff, some maybe not so good stuff that has been floating around, but we'll get to that a little bit later. We're looking around the rest of the room. I also have with us Mike Cheese Pops. How's it going?
I am so excited for today. Our guest is a hero of mine, and I just cannot wait to pick his brain and to see what makes them tick. And I am on the edge. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I am amped. Get that mute button ready because I don't want to hear me, but I have problems with being quiet. So I'm just, I'm excited. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. I can't wait either. Every time we have a guest on here, it's like the most exciting thing to me. It's awesome to get to know other people. You see them in other chats, you see them doing streams and stuff like that. It's so awesome to get them on here, and you have that one-way relationship on Twitch in a sense, but to actually get to see someone, talk to them is totally awesome. And so that's our normal host here. On top of that, we do have our guest, as Cheese Pops was just talking about. We are joined here by another amazing guest, Isherwood81 of Twitch.tv.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello, Isherwood.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
We are very excited to have you on here. Very excited. Is Isherwood, how long have you been streaming?
I've been streaming for about 3.5 years now.
Wow.
3.5 years now. So
about
that was
3.5 years. Yeah.
Okay. So you were a pre-pandemic streamer, right?
Just pre-pandemic. Yeah. November 2019.
Okay.
Wow.
Kind of got started just before everybody started huddling indoors. It was a good time to be kind of, finding my footing on Twitch.
That's when the whole bubble just kind of started right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Ashley.
Yes.
I think we need to jump right into it. Tears of the Kingdom. I think we need to jump right into it.
I couldn't agree more, my friend. Let's not waste any time.
Let's first off, is everybody here looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom? Is there anybody here who's just kind of like,
What
I'm
you
excited.
ish? Yeah.
excited?
This is Zelda games changed my life. This is what it's my favorite game, Ocarina of Time. I'll never forget it. And there is a brand new mainline Zelda game. My life, there's always before this game came out and after. And so I am so excited. It's ridiculous.
Is everybody going to be streaming Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh, I'm sitting in
Ashley,
this seat.
I know you are. 24 hours, right?
Yes, I am doing a 24-hour during the release of Tears of the Kingdom. As soon as it hits midnight, I will be hitting play. I'm very excited. And I've seen you, Ish, play some Breath of the Wild, and it's been awesome. You did a late night stream pretty recently that was out of character for you, and you were playing Breath of the Wild, and it was like my favorite stream you've ever done. So how excited are you for Tears, and will you be playing it, and when?
I'm very excited. I'm going to start, I think, the Tuesday after it comes out and make it just a regular part of the schedule.
Nice.
I don't want to play too much. I don't want to get too far ahead because I don't want people to come in and feel like they can't watch because they haven't seen maybe what I'm doing or haven't, experienced it themselves. So I'm going to kind of slow roll it and just play it for myself. Probably like once a week for a few hours.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
But definitely doing it on stream. I don't have the time, honestly, to dedicate off stream to playing it. I want to make sure that I play it as much as I can too. So
I feel like I'm the odd duck out. I am actually not purchasing it on release, at least.
Not yet.
I just don't have the time right now to delve into I don't know however long that game is. It's going to take up a lot of time. Eventually, I think I probably will, but I'm not going to be getting it on day one.
Understandable.
You're missing out. It's going to be, it's Nintendo quality. It's one of their main, very rarely does Nintendo swing and miss. And it's such an easy pick up and play. And you know what? I don't feel like accomplishing anything. So I'm going to go collect apples for a few hours.
Yep.
It's whatever your mood type of game. But I'm actually not going to be streaming it. Zelda's like a personal thing for me.
Sure.
So I want to get lost in the lore and the universe. Even my wife will be like, when I'm playing those games, I'm not there. I'm within the game. So it's one of those, I'm going to not stream it. But that being said, if I see everyone streaming it and their streams are blowing up and it's incredible content and I'm left out, I'll be the first to be like, remember when I said I wasn't streaming it? It's Zelda Week. But my plan is to keep it personal for now.
Sure. I usually keep my Zelda stuff very personal as well, but I took 8 days off for the release of Tears of the Kingdom because I don't do anything with my paid time off at work, so why not? And since I'll be home that week, I'm gonna just be playing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna stick to my regular Mario content, but outside of that, I'm just every moment that I can be playing it, I'll just turn the camera on and play for 8 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people aren't going to want spoilers. I totally get that, but it's for me. It's for everybody else too, but it's also for me. This is very personal.
Well, you've streamed Zelda before. What's it like when you first streamed Zelda? Was it your blind playthrough, or did you already know the game in and out? Because that's what I don't want to lose that first time experience, or I also don't want to let chat down as well. Because you do a great job of constantly talking with chat, but if I'm in a cutscene, you don't exist to me right now. And that's my big fear of streaming it, is that I'm going to focus solely on the game, and that's not what my stream is a lot of I think all of our streams, we have such amazing communities. We're constantly talking with them. I've never played a game for a blind playthrough of a game, and I'll tried to do that. So I'll be interested to watch your stream to see how you handle that.
I think with Breath of the Wild, when it came out, I certainly wasn't streaming back then. That was 2017. But I did the same thing. I took a week off from work and I played the game, and I just really sat in my house and just really absorbed it all. But I'm excited to share some of the newer experiences in the game, which I will not say a single spoiler, obviously, but I feel like there's a lot of things I can share in with the people who will be watching. And I hope that when there's cutscenes, everyone's cool that we watch them together. It'll be a mini movie that we can all hang out and see. But I'm excited to experience it for the first time with other people. It'll be the first time I've ever done that because, again, Zelda is very personal to at least me, but I think I'll be able to handle it. Well,
at least when it comes to Zelda, I mean, you're not going to have cutscenes that are super long. They're going to be relatively short. They're relatively short.
Some, yeah.
They're more of a cool kind of cinematic, if anything.
The longest ones are 15 seconds. It's not Metal Gear at all. And I'm the way I sold it is these hour-long, life-changing cinematic events. How are you possibly going to be able to handle that?
Yeah, I recently watched somebody play through like Metal Gear Solid 4, for instance, and yeah, I forgot that game has like an hour and 21-minute cutscene in it or something in there. It's insane.
Holy cow!
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it has like it's in like the world record of longest cutscene in a video game, but it's like a 60-40. You play the game 60%, you watch 40% of it.
Wow.
It's a cool game, but I think it can be kind of rough to stream.
Interesting stream like content,
that. Yeah, but and that kind of brings back like it is kind of hard to stream super heavy story games kind of like that, right? Even if they're not hour and 20-minute cutscenes, it is kind of hard because it's like you want to kind of watch it, you want to be able to react, but also you want your chatters to also know what's going on and also be talking at the same. It's hard to balance. It's hard to balance.
I guess it's something I'm gonna have to try it because at this point in my stream history, I've never played a game like blind, that type of game. Like, of course, I played like Cuphead, things like that. Just like you know what you're getting into, left to right, beat the game. But like cinematic things like that, or blind games like that, where you experience a story, I've never tried to stream that. So I'm really interested to see and watch a lot of my favorite streamers tackle that because it's something I've I watched a ton of retro. I've seen people try it with Sonic Adventure, but that story, I mean, I cried a few times. It's so good, but this is going to be a different experience.
Sure.
Yes.
We'll bring this right back to Tears of the Kingdom, but I got to say something else about Sonic here. You guys know my views on Sonic, but I got to say, what is up with the Sonic music? Like, you have awesome retro tunes to it, and then suddenly you have like in the latest Sonic Frontiers, you have like I don't know, I don't remember who sings it, but it's like suddenly you're listening to like Bullet for My Valentine while you're fighting this this mecha monster. It's like, what is going on with Sonic? Like it's insane.
I love it. It's like ever since Sonic R on the Sega Saturn, where like, all right, now we get some lyrics, and it's Sonic from Sonic R on was just like goofy fun, and 90% of the time it was for the detriment of the game, but that's okay because that 10%, that's for me. And I love the jank. I love the goofiness, and I'm all about it. And I watched a video recently. They wanted like the indie, they wanted to be hip, but their thought of hip was like the indie underground scene in Japan. And so that's why you got a lot of graffiti art style on the Dreamcast game. That's why Sonic looked different from the 16-bit era moving into it. And they always want to kind of be underground with Sonic and not mainstream. So that's why we get a lot of different music and different vibes from the game that you wouldn't expect, which I enjoy.
Big agree. Ish, what is the last... I was going to say, what's the last Sonic game you played?
I think Sonic 2 was the last Sonic game I played.
Stop.
And yet, that's still the best one. So
it is the best.
Not a bad dropping off point. Not a bad dropping off point.
I think I'm good here.
The one I played the most, I think, was Sonic Spinball, actually, on the Genesis. Which is,
nice.
I think, the best Sonic game.
It's so much fun, but it's also terrible at the same time. Like, the pinball physics are so... But it's
bad. We played it recently.
Stuff.
We played it recently. I got the Genesis Mini or Classic or whatever it's called, just because it had Spinball on there. And me and my sister tried to play it when I first got it, and that game is hard.
Yeah,
it is way harder than I remembered as a kid. And I remember being okay at it, but I'm no good at it now.
It doesn't mess around. Like, how many Chaos Emeralds did you get? Like, did you get through a couple of levels?
I think we got through 2 levels, maybe, both of us playing for a couple hours.
Because each level has like 3 emeralds and a boss, and it's tough. It doesn't mess around. And like, I often wonder, like, because it's so much fun for how unrefined it is. Like, give me more pinball games like that you can have a score mode, whatever, but give me like a boss fight. And like, there's a couple, like Metroid Pinball on the DS did something like that. And then I think
there's a really cute pinball adventure game on the Switch called Yuko's Island or Yuku's Island.
Oh, yeah.
Have any of you guys seen that?
I've seen it.
I played through it a couple years ago, and it really integrated pinball mechanics into like an exploration, platformy adventure game really nicely.
Whoa.
You end up in a corner of the map that suddenly you're kind of stuck in this pinball machine and you have to figure out how to get out. And then you explore to the next kind of pinball section. And it was a really fun game. I was actually thinking about it just recently as kind of underrated games I might want to play on stream and show off. So that was on my mind recently as well.
Do it.
I'm going to have to get that now. I'm in. I love it. That's like right up my alley.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. So Ashley, let's back it up to Tears of the Kingdom just a little bit more here. We know it's coming out. What's the date again?
It is
May 12th?
May 12th.
May 12th. But it seems like it may have come out a little early.
All right.
For a couple people, right?
Let's address the elephant in the room. The entire game leaked. Twitter blew up. The internet went crazy. And I'm sitting in a stream. It's my work day. And the chatter says, people are streaming Tears of the Kingdom right now. And I was like, what? People were finding ways to get it on their Switch early. I don't know how. I don't know why. And they were streaming it on Twitch. And now, obviously, all of them have since been banned. But once it first happened, like, it took a little bit for Twitch to understand really what was going on. So now the past few days, I haven't seen it. But did I look? Did I give in to temptation? I did. I watched an hour of gameplay. I'm not ashamed. I've seen all the spoilers and I was totally cool with it. Thankfully, they didn't do too much, but I'm very thankful that an hour in they got banned because I was like, okay, 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes. And I just could not look away. So all I will say is I can't wait for Friday. Did anyone else see any spoilers or has everyone been able to avoid?
Avoided all of it.
Good.
I saw that people had it. I saw Reggie's veiled threats on Twitter. I figured
anything more scary than Reggie threatening.
It's like a 16-year-old kid too. The whole thing is hilarious. He's living the dream, no longer being in charge. Like, I say what I want.
Exactly. No, but my Twitter timeline actually didn't. I didn't come across it, so I didn't really have to avoid it too much. I don't know if it's just Mario and Zelda doesn't really cross over to my socials, sure. I guess.
And I don't know how Twitter works, so I avoided that pretty easily. It's confusing and scary. I'm still in the MySpace zone. I could rock a MySpace page, but as soon as it upgraded, I was all over. I'm too old for this stuff.
I will copy and paste some HTML right now.
Yo, were we all like, yes, we were all web designers back in the day.
I avoided everything. What do you think? Do you think harmless crime, or like, what do you think the punishment should be? Because like, I fluctuate on the line because I do some interesting things myself that walk the line of legality when it comes to gaming. I will not say them on this podcast, but I think those are fine. But it's such a gray area because even Game Genie was sued by Nintendo back in the day.
Sure,
and the courts are like, no, that ROM belongs to them. They bought it. They can do what they want. And that's how we get these amazing ROM hacks and stuff. So It's such a gray area. But this is straight up, I stole the game and I'm playing it early.
It's piracy. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And also, like, I don't know if like Nintendo also has like day one patches that are supposed to be coming out too. So it's not like the true product that they want people to be seeing first off. You know what I mean? So I don't know if some of that could be involved too, that, they have stuff that's going to patch, make something look a little bit better here, there, whatever. And when this new product, when it comes out and people are seeing, it's like, oh, look how janky this is over here. And that's stuff that's supposed to get, and I can get it from that standpoint too.
Sure.
For me, if someone pirates the game, steals it, like, slap on the wrist, don't do that. Please don't do that again. But if someone steals it and sells it, that's where you can throw whatever book you want at them. Like, go nuts, Nintendo. But like, for me, if someone gets the game, it's like people that pirated movies back in the day, kind of situation. It's not the right thing to do, but it's also it's not the worst thing ever. But also, I know that drives up prices of video games too. And as a poor, humble streamer, prices of video game, like keep those, they have been down forever. You know, video games have been $50 to $60 to $70 my entire life. And that has not gone up at all. If anything, it's gone down since like the Sega Saturn era, which was a weird time. Like some games would be $60, some games would be $40. It was a weird time.
Especially when you consider the amount of money that goes into big budget games these days.
Sure.
How cheap they really are, like $60. I mean, even $70. I know that $10 more, a lot of people complain about it. I mean, I'm not one to really complain about it too much. But I mean, with budgets pushing, I don't know. Remember, they had an estimate for GTA 6 just coming out, and it's insane how much that game's going to cost. I mean, they'll make it all back in a weekend for sure, but still, for $60-$70, you're getting this humongous budget package that's so polished and incredible. At least usually the games are polished.
And something that you can play for thousands of hours too. I mean, what's the value on that?
I paid $60 for Mario Striker on the Switch. I played that once, so I think I'll get my money's worth here. I was so mad at that game. Like,
you and everybody else.
4-on-4? Yeah, the game is good. The game is good. 4-on-4 soccer, but you can only play 2-on-2 online. It's like, what? What are you thinking? Unless you have two people on the same Switch, which is ridiculous in the modern era.
Right. So hold on. So when you're playing by your locally, it's 4-on-4. You said?
I think locally you can do up to 8 players on the same Switch, but who plays local games? So I got it. So me and my friends could play online. All 4 of us, same time, same team versus people around the world. And you can't do that. The only way you can have 4 people on the same team is if me and Isherwood in one house and you and Ashley were in one house playing on the same Switch. Which is, can you imagine if Rocket League did that?
Oh God,
that'd be insane.
And that's what Nintendo thought was a good idea.
Do they? Do you still have like 2 AIs on your team, or is it just the 2 of you?
You have 2 AIs, but now you have to control multiple people, and it's just, which is fine. But at the same time, it just that bugged me to no end that I can't play with 3 of my friends on the same team.
Yeah, that's
they're already doing it with Smash Brothers. They put 8 people online, and that's insane. That game, even playing with 8 people, it's the most fun thing, but it's also the most insane thing you can do.
I don't know how I went down this path again.
They're doing it somewhere else.
Do you play any Smash, Isherwood?
I have never played Smash, and I'll be honest, I watch people play Smash, and it confuses the heck out of me.
Me too.
I don't know what's happening. I can't follow it. I see people flying around the map. I don't know who's winning, or why they won.
Do you play other fighting games, or are you into any fighting games?
Not currently. I used to play some fighting games. I mean, I played a lot of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat growing up.
Yep.
I think the last one I played, even semi-seriously, was Soul Calibur on the PS3.
Ooh.
Because I had a buddy who had a PS3, and he was like, hey, we should play this game together. I got decent at it, and he stopped playing after a couple weeks. But that was a fun one. But yeah, modern era fighting games, I haven't really delved into it all.
Soul Calibur's so weird. It's one of those series that just kept getting a little bit better and then just disappeared. Like, Soul Calibur did not drop the ball anywhere. It just stopped. And for me, I bought Soul Calibur 1, I bought Soul Calibur 2, and then I stopped. I love both of those games, and the reviews for the rest of the series are good. It just, I only have room for one fighting game. That's Mortal Kombat.
Same.
I vaguely remember, didn't Soul Calibur 4, didn't it have Darth Vader on the PlayStation version, Yoda on the Xbox, and then Link on the GameCube version or something crazy like that? There was exclusive characters like that.
Link was in 2, and that's what made
it was 2.
Weirdly,
okay.
Yeah, the GameCube version played better on the Xbox and PlayStation, but the GameCube one got the best reviews because it's Link, man. You're playing as Link, and he fits so perfectly into it, and everyone's like, you can keep your Spawn Xbox. We'll take Link.
I do love when a fighting game will have a random character in it that doesn't make sense. The last fighting game I seriously played was Mortal Kombat X or 10. And you can play as Freddy Krueger. Why?
That's why I love Mortal Kombat.
I respect that. I respect that choice to put him in there.
The fatalities.
Yeah.
They were so
I
good.
mean, even like Smash Brothers. I mean, you have Steve from Minecraft in there now. It's like,
why?
What is this guy? Or the piranha plant, not PD piranha, just a piranha plant that's like in a pot.
So,
and it's amazing.
I played probably thousands of hours of Smash Brothers ever since the 64 moving on. But I agree with Isherwood. When I see some of these characters in Smash Brothers, like the dude from Minecraft, just digging up dirt, mining, and creating things, I'm like, what are you doing? I have no idea what's happening here.
I've barely played any of those games myself. The only reason that you can get me to play a Smash game is if Sheik is the character I can play as, because Sheik is just so cool.
I do have a very serious question for you, Isherwood.
Bring it on.
All right. Now, this is serious. This is top tier. I am intently ready for this answer. Who is your favorite Mortal Kombat character?
Oh my gosh. Is it Raiden? Is that the guy with the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Raiden.
It's a great choice.
I haven't played Mortal Kombat since I was a kid. I'm like, here we go.
I have not. I think the last time I played Mortal Kombat was maybe on the Super Nintendo or Genesis.
Raiden would teleport across the screen, hands out, and just hit the person in the chest and go, "Da da da da!" Like, cut that from the podcast. That was the worst Raiden impression of all time. I'll see myself out.
Hear that, Craig? Craig, don't worry, don't pop. Don't worry, Craig will take it out. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's out. So, anything else about Tears of the Kingdom, Ashley? I know next month you'll have a lot more to say. I know, but I don't know if there's anything additional that you wanted to talk about beforehand.
I just am so excited. I can't obviously say a single spoiler, but I do feel for the people who saw spoilers that didn't want to and everything. But if you haven't yet heard, what is that, Poncho? What is that? Oh,
this is my coffee mug.
You better stop. Oh my God. For everyone listening, you thought my coffee cup was big. He's holding up a house with the handle.
It is literally, I think I see people living in that coffee cup. It's bigger than your head. It's done. It's over.
Oh my God.
You would have to make two full. Like, what do you call the thing? That a carafe? Two full carafes of coffee to fill that.
This is a gallon.
Let me see one more time.
Looked it up.
One more time.
This is a gallon sized coffee mug.
Oh, it looks just like mine too. Oh my God.
That is insane.
I had to do it.
You got a gallon coffee mug for the memes. I respect that.
Yes, I did. I did.
I do have a weird question, but I'm interested. When you guys play Zelda games, do you name your character Link, or do you change the name to Ashley or Ish? What do you name? I don't know if you can do that in the new ones. Breath of the Wild, I think you have to be Link. But in the classic Zelda games, what did you call Link?
Anytime I get to change a name, I'd change it to Ish. I have for many, many years. Yeah.
I was very much the type of person to name it something that would be funny down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I think one time I named Link My Butt. And in Twilight Princess, there's a part where I named the horse My Butt. I named the horse My Butt. And there's a part in Twilight Princess where you come up to, I don't think she's Zelda. I don't remember who she is. It's been so long since I played it. And she's grooming her horse and she turns around. She's like, I washed my butt for you. And like, as a kid, there's comedy. There's nothing funnier than that moment. Comedy gold right there.
Oh my goodness.
But I purposely aim for names that would be really funny later on.
I will admit, as a kid, I may have put a bad word or two as my name, but as an adult, I always pick Link for sure.
So we were, as Ashley said earlier, I play Breath of the Wild occasionally, do some late night chill streams, and we started just a casual playthrough maybe 8 months ago or something that I've every few weeks or maybe once a month I'll play for a few hours just for fun. But we named our horse, right? And chat came up with the name for our horse. I'm not going to say it on the podcast here, but then it'll be a month again until we play, and I forget what the name of the horse is until it randomly pops up on screen. And out of context, it's not very funny anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I used to like...
Go ahead.
Growing up, I was always a Link dude. Like, name it the character's name. And then I think once puberty hit, I was with you guys. Like, how silly, funny, and swear wordy can I get here? But then now I do Pops. I'm like, Ish now. Now it's just Pops, which makes me happy.
It's like you're just loading up like an old Zelda game, or it's something where you could rename your character, and the file is just the name of the character, right? You load it up now, like a game you played when you were a kid, and it's like the name is just like poop or something like that.
Or fart
like,
or something.
That's even funnier when you come back like now, like a decade later. It makes it even more funny to think that you did that.
Oh man.
Oh man, I definitely lean toward more of the whatever would make it really funny in dialogue later on or something.
Before we move on to anything else, can I just see the coffee cup one more time?
Yeah. This is a two-hander. Like, it's heavy.
Wow. I can't wait for you got to put that in the Discord so everyone can see it.
I was really hoping he would have an even bigger one for the second reveal.
Even bigger.
That would be great.
That'd be incredible.
It'd take up the whole room.
Can I see it again? Yes.
He's just all prop mugs
the whole
now.
screen.
Oh man, that's great. All right, let's bring it back to Isherwood. Let's bring it back to you. So we talked about that. You've been streaming for 3.5 years.
Right.
You started back in. You said was it November 2019?
November 2019. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Perfect. What made you interested in streaming? What made you and also when you did it, did you start with Mario? Tell us all about where did you started from?
Yeah, so Mario Maker 2 got me into Twitch and streaming. I got Mario Maker 2 I think a week or two after it came out. I had played Mario Maker 1 briefly on the Wii U. Never really got too far into it. Saw these crazy Kaizo levels that were being, shared on video game websites and stuff, and thought, no, that's nothing I'll ever be able to do. I was looking for more kind of just casual Mario levels at that point. It was really hard to find levels that I wanted to play. I made a couple levels that were terrible, and kind of quickly, moved on from the game and did other things. And then Mario Maker 2 came out, and I'd been reading about it, up to the launch and how to switch and everything, and thought, I'll give this one a chance and maybe try and get serious about like making some levels and connecting with people to share them. And so that's what I did. A couple weeks after release, got the game, played through the story mode, started playing some levels just randomly from popular or whatever, and made a couple levels and started sharing them on Reddit. There was a pretty robust level sharing community at that point. And one of the people that played my levels there sent it to a small streamer and then sent me the link afterwards and said, hey, I sent it to my buddy who plays Mario Maker on Twitch. Here's the link if you want to see it. I knew about Twitch at that point, but I kind of thought it was a bunch of young kids playing Fortnite and wasn't really, I didn't know that there would be a community there for middle-aged Mario fans. But I watched the link, or watched the clip of the streamer playing my level, and then just started watching viewer level streams, submitting here and there, getting to know people in the community, and did that for a few months. And at that point I was playing a lot. My girlfriend and sister would watch me play sometimes, and I just said to them one day, hey, I think I might try and stream this game. I think it'd be fun to play and play other people's levels and get sent the best levels in the game, because I'm seeing all these streamers play awesome levels all the time, and I want to do that too. Got, the full go ahead from the girlfriend and sister. They said, go for it. I think you'd be great. It was just before Black Friday, so a bunch of stuff was on sale, kind of streaming bundles and stuff at Best Buy. Went and put a bunch of stuff on my Best Buy credit card and started streaming, I think 2 days later.
Wow.
Just fired up, went live, said viewer levels, bring them to me. And I've been doing viewer levels ever since.
Amazing.
Were you just the greatest gamer from the start? Like, did you hit go live and just started beating these crazy precision levels, or like what was
nope.
the like? Because I'll never forget.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh no, it's all you.
I couldn't shell jump, which I quickly realized I needed to learn how to do viewer levels on Twitch. I wasn't super. The levels I had made were kind of precision platformy based, but I didn't know anything about team precision. I didn't know anything about team shell or anything like that. So I started streaming at the beginning of November. We went away for a weekend for Thanksgiving. And I played a shell level for maybe 2-3 hours, just drilling in shell jumps, so I could feel like I could at least try to play the levels people were sending me when I got back.
Right.
I'll never forget when I first started streaming, and the Mario community is the first community I got involved in. I've had my favorite streamers on Twitch, but I just kind of was in the background. But the Mario community, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can go in all these streams and see the same people. And I found you, and I'm watching you play, and I'm like, I turned ghost white because I'm like, I can never play up to this dude's level. He is just and you were just sitting there. I don't even think you were watching the screen. You were just chatting, doing these jumps I've never seen before, and super chill and just enjoying the game. And like, I'm like, I can't do this. There's no way. And I was just floored by your skill. And I was just, did you just put in the time? And that's, like you said, shell jump, or just you saw levels that put this wall in front of you. It's like, okay, how do I get over this wall? Did you practice off stream, or was it all on stream grinding?
At that time, I was playing a lot more off stream as well. But most of, I really just think it's the time, and kind of my saying back then was, I'm not good, I'm just persistent. Because sometimes you just have to throw lives at a level until it clicks, and you get that muscle memory, and you figure out what works and what doesn't. And I enjoyed doing it so much. My first stream was on a Saturday, and I stopped streaming. I said, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. So much fun.
Wow. Even
with just, 3 or 4 people there. And just finding that kind of sense of community, and online camaraderie that I hadn't ever really experienced before, was the main draw for me. And then kind of the gaming was secondary to that. But anybody that does viewer levels or even plays Mario on stream, you have to at least be competent at the game, I think, or else it doesn't become fun after a while, right?
Sure.
So
yeah, especially if you're in the viewer level, if that's your primary thing. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I think we all, speaking for myself, I go to other streamers' streams. I watch Mario all day long, and I still think the same thing. I'm never going to be that good. How the heck did he beat that level that fast? Or how's she doing that, with reading that blind? I think we all do that.
It's hard, but I try to remind myself, like, hey, they gotta, because like I still see you, and like your league's beyond me. But then I think, like, okay, you had a couple year head start, and then I see like the big time Mario streamers, they've been doing it for decades. And so like I have to remind myself, like, I'm going to steal your phrase now. It's like, just be persistent. Like, it doesn't matter,
right.
Put in the time.
I watch you, several times a week, and you've gotten so much better in the last few months. Like exponentially better just in the last few months. You beat a few levels in the last 2 weeks that I think you beat them quicker than I have.
Did you? All right. The rest of the podcast, just repeat that over and over again to boost my ego, because I'm feeling good right now.
You crushed those couple lamb levels recently.
Oh, yeah.
You crushed them.
It was so much fun. But like, I think that's what's cool about Mario is, like, I can go in to watch a stream of one of the greatest gamers of all time. Like, I can watch you just crush a level, have a fun. But then I can go into another person's stream that's not as skilled, and it's fun to watch them grow in their skills. Like, as long as they're competent in the game and not like, what's a Mario? You know what I mean? And it's fun because I've experienced people's first shell jump, and that it's the hype is real. Like a shell jump is like, if I see you do a shell jump, you could do it blindfolded sleeping. But then watching someone new to the game do it for the first time, the adrenaline rush is so exciting. And it's such a fun community that way, that so many different streams can offer that type of value.
I feel like our community is very special in that the OG players really look out for the people who are newer to like getting good at the game. I can't tell you how many times I've been streaming and it's late at night and I'm on a level that took me hours that would take Poncho Taco 15 minutes to beat. And there's just OGs there and they're just like, why don't you try this? Like you can do it. Like just get the shell there, get the bomb there. This is how you bomb surf. Like I remember the people who were there with me late at night, teaching me how to bomb surf, teaching me how to shell jump when just a few months I couldn't do it. And not to toot your horn, Pops, but I have to agree with Ish. You have just, even in this few months I've been in your stream, you are killing it. You're playing totally different levels. And I've only known you like 6 months, I think, maybe a little longer. And you are exponentially better at the game. It's really awesome.
Ish sets the bar. I want to be as good as Ish. And as soon as I get better, he only gets better. And it's not fair. So take it, if you want to take a couple months off, Isherwood, I'm just saying.
Well, there's a few people out there that I'd like to be as good at as well. I mean, we're all striving to get better. But I think Ashley brought up a really good point. This community is so supportive. No matter your skill set, no matter if you've ever played Mario before, I mean, everybody's got your back. And like Chi said too, watching somebody that's never shell jumped before finally get it where it clicks, that can be way more exciting than watching one of the best players play one of the hardest levels.
Right. It's hype.
It's super hype.
I just want to be as calm as you are, Ish, when you're grinding something. Is that what you're going to say, Pops? When you're grinding something like a whole level or a hack that is like ridiculous, or you've been on the same boss for days and you just sit there like the most chill human being. I'm like, how does he do it? Like, you are just so somber.
Most of the time. Watch my recent Bowser loss if you want to see the other side of
that. Now I have to, because it's like when I think of your stream, like the music I hear in my head is just like smooth jazz, just super chill and amazing, funky. And I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always been more subdued than a lot of people, I think. So
yeah,
it just comes across that way.
So you started off. You said you started off with Mario Maker 2. Now I do see you also playing ROM hacks, SMW ROM hacks as well. You want to talk about that a little bit? What got you kind of doing that and stuff like that?
Sure. I've been playing ROM hacks for 2 years now. This month, actually. And I mean, similar thing to Mario Maker 2. I had seen ROM hacks and knew kind of about the Kaizo scene for a long time, but thought it was something that, first of all, I thought it was complicated to do. I didn't know how easy it was to even play a ROM hack at the time. And then obviously getting into like the Mario Maker Twitch community and the crossover with ROM hack players, it became quickly apparent that it was super easy to do, and I could start playing ROM hacks within 20 or 30 minutes if I just wanted to spend the time to do it. I'd seen like when Grand Poo World 2 came out, and it was all over every internet gaming website that there was, and again thought, that's crazy, these people are nuts, I will never be able to do something like that, and just thought it was one of those kind of niche gaming things that probably wasn't for mere mortals like me. But I mean, just like I think a lot of people, talking to people that have played it, saying, oh yeah, you could do it, you're good enough in Mario Maker, try Quickie World, learn to Kaizo. And it was just, I've always loved Mario. I mean, I've been playing Mario since I was 5 years old, and just looked like a really fun kind of next evolution of the game to try and take on. So yeah, I've been playing for about 2 years. I think finished 50 or so ROM hacks in that time. And just beat Grand Poo World 2 just this last week. So
yes,
from years ago, seeing that and thinking there's no way to finally accomplishing that is I think really, really cool.
How long did you spend on Bowser in Grand Poo World 2?
Bowser, I need to double check the footage, but I think it was about 17 hours total. Which
it's not
bad. I'm okay with. I was hoping it would be around 10 to 15. 17's not too far off that.
I was there a lot of it. It was so awesome to watch. And I was actually in a work meeting because you're so calm, I was in a work meeting and I had you muted, but I had you on the other monitor. Don't tell my job. And I couldn't tell by your reaction that you had beat it, but I was like, no, I was like, that looks like he beat it. And then I saw your chat and I was like, oh my God, it happened. It was like the most hype moment ever. I was so proud of you. Like, just GG, dude. That's so awesome.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. GG. That is, you are a dog, dude. That's insane. You should feel so proud. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Thanks. I am pretty proud. That's one of my proudest gaming accomplishments, I think, is finishing that game. I started that game in September of last year, and I haven't been playing it, constantly, but I've been playing a few hours a week here and there, and to finally finish it is a big chapter of the last kind of several months of my life closed, So it's a cool feeling.
Is Grand Poo World 2, would you consider it the most difficult one that you've beaten?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So regarding ROM hacks, Grand Poo World 2, that as you said, it was everywhere. The compilation video on YouTube had me crying. I'm like, that's why I got into streaming, like GDQ and that. And I wanted to be, I thought I'd be doing more ROM hacks, but just when I looked at the landscape of Twitch, I always see Mario Maker viewers were a lot higher than ROM hack viewers. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to start here, I'm going to go there. Even though I liked almost the other one more, I love them both. But why do you think that is that Mario Maker 2, even the big time streamers, if they stream Mario Maker 2 or they stream a ROM hack, they seem to get more viewers with the Maker? I don't understand it, to be honest.
I think a lot of things probably play into it. I think one is the interaction with chat when you're playing Maker, and specifically if you're playing viewer levels, is a lot higher. There's a lot of engagement there. It's kind of shorter bite-sized chunks too, one level at a time rather than a full game, which I think is maybe helpful for just retention and people's attention span, maybe in general. Gives them incentive maybe to stick around if their level's going to be played next, or if you're playing a level that they've played, or if they can play along with you, or maybe you're taking world records back and forth or something fun like that. There's a lot of interaction, whereas watching somebody play ROM hack maybe is more of a passive viewing experience sometimes, if that makes sense.
It does, because you know what? When you verbalized it too, when I first got into trying ROM hacks, impossible. There's no way I know how to do this. And as you said, like, you have 2 minutes of research. You're like, oh, you just click here and you can do it.
Yep. And I think there's, there are a lot of people that stream ROM hacks, and there are tons of ROM hacks out there. Most of them that people have never heard of, right? So if you're playing something by a creator who's just put out one ROM hack, and maybe you found it because you were browsing SMW Central one day, versus playing something like a Grand Poo World 2 or Invictus, where it has that kind of brand recognition or name recognition, you might not bring in as many people either.
I think too, like, it's not only that sense of camaraderie that, like, your friends are making levels. Oh, hey, I know that person. Hey, that level was dedicated to Isherwood. I want to play that. That's super cool. Like, it's like the community and the people and we're so intertwined, especially if you do viewer levels. But I think it's also, we talk about this a lot, the love for short form content. They want to see you beat the level, right. And then it's less of an investment for them. But then there's people who want to sit with you through a whole journey, like a ROM hack and stuff like that. So I think obviously it just depends on the person, but I do see what you're saying, like, as far as interaction, it's so much more personal in Maker. Like, we know these makers if you're playing popular, and they may even be in your chat. So it's really cool.
Or several people in chat have played that level and struggle with it, or beat it, or have some experience with it already. So there's that commonality.
Also, I think this Mario Maker 2 is much more accessible than SMW. Like, I mean, when you watch, if you're used to SMW, or if you're used to Mario Maker 2, you play SMW, it's totally different. You do have to like mentally kind of change a little bit. The button layout is different, but also there's just a lot of tech that doesn't transfer over to Mario Maker 2 from SMW. And it's like, wow, how can you possibly do that? You know, there's a lot of things that you can spin jump on in SMW that you can't in MM2. And it's, I mean, and I think people also just understand the mechanics of Mario Maker 2 better. So it's easier just to watch that. It's more a comfort zone. Right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people who are younger who have a Switch, who have Mario Maker 2. It's easy. It's right there. They know what the game is. They're going to come on and want to watch people play it because they can play it too. And, you know, the base of gamers that have Mario Maker 2 and that play it is much larger than the base of people that play ROM hacks.
Right.
Absolutely.
What do you prefer?
It depends on the day. It depends on my mood. Some days I wake up and I have Maker on the schedule, and I kind of wish that I was playing whatever ROM hack I'm playing at the moment. Sometimes there's a level that I wasn't able to beat yesterday that I really want to get back to, but I've got ROM hacks on the schedule today, so it's going to have to wait until next week. You know, I just look at them as two different games, and I love them both for different reasons. Playing a ROM hack, though, from start to finish does give you a sense that you have kind of beaten a game more so than Maker ever. You know, beating a level feels great. Beating a whole game feels like more of an accomplishment sometimes.
Sure.
Isn't that the worst question of all time? Like, what's your favorite movie? It's like, well, I'll pick something, but if it's a comedy and I'm not in a laughing mood, I'm never going to watch that comedy. Like, ask me better questions. Come on.
Who is your favorite child?
The first time I ever even heard of ROM hacks, like I didn't even know it was like a thing. It was probably back in 2019 or something like that. I was watching a streamer who was doing Mario Maker 2, and then suddenly just switched to something just called Grand Poo World 2, or maybe 1. I can't remember what it was, to be honest. And I was just like, what is this? And I was watching it. It was like this to me at the time, without knowing, I was like, this looks super janky. What is this? But obviously it's more polished. The more you watch, the more you understand what it is and everything. It's like, okay, no, this is actually polished what it is. But at the time I was just like, what even is this? I was so confused. Like, I was like, is this some weird Mario Maker 2 mode I don't know about? Like, what is this?
The rope that you fall through when you run will, for the rest of my life, be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just at the end of the level, one of the hardest levels, that little troll rope, and watching everyone fall through that. Oh, it warms
so
my heart.
good.
That rope got me. I know exactly what rope you're talking about.
Yep.
I need the clip, and I want to see the look in your eyes as you fall down.
And to be fair, Poncho, there is a lot of jank in Super Mario World. You'll never get rid of the jank. You can work around it, but a lot of it is there. Mm-hmm. And some levels are frustrating because of the jank.
Sure.
It happens. But
one of them,
part of the charm, I think, too.
One of the things, and I think because one time in the back, I wasn't doing it on stream, I was doing Learn to Kaizo just to kind of learn some of the new tech stuff that I didn't understand yet. And they got to one, I think it was something with like invisible Yoshis or something like that. And I was like, all right, I think I'm not going to do this hack anymore. I don't think they really do that anymore in the modern hacks as often. It seems like they kind of moved away from some of that really janky kind of like invisible sprites you spawn and stuff like that.
Yes, Learn to Kaizo is also very good up to a point, I think, because that was the first hack that I played. It was recommended to me. And I played through maybe the first quarter of it, and then a few people in chat were like, you don't really need to keep playing. It gets into some pretty techie stuff that most hacks aren't even going to ever have for you.
Sure.
And that hack actually got a little janky, too, on one of the like tests, right? Because it gives you little sections, learn how to do a shell jump, learn how to do this, and then kind of put it all together in a little level. And one of those levels is very, very janky. And I got to that point, and I was kind of getting frustrated, and somebody in chat said, just move on to Quickie World. You're there. Get ready for it. And I'm glad I did, because Learn to Kaizo was getting a little frustrating. But it is a great beginner hack or first hack just to get your head around kind of the physics and how it operates. But if you are getting into hacks and you start with that, play it for a little bit and then just jump into something.
Yeah.
My first hack was Diagonal Mario, and I have no regrets.
I do not know that hack.
Do yourself a favor. Listen to this podcast. Look up Diagonal Mario. It is the stupid. You're going to be actively a worse gamer after playing it, but it'll open your mind to what ROM hacks could be. And the jokes, the laughs, you're gonna hate it, Isherwood. So look it up. That's my suggestion.
I saw one person play that, and it hurt my head to watch.
So dumb.
It's horrible.
So dumb.
I've been on and off watching a streamer playing a hack, I think called Dreams.
Yes.
Hacker's Dreams?
Maybe
Hacker's Dreams?
And it's only like 6 levels. It's 12 levels, something. It's short, but and he's a very talented SMW player, but I don't know, he's almost like pushing 200 hours, and like on this last one, like I watched the final level he's playing, and I don't even know what's going on. It's so insane. Just like the screen is flashing, like changing backgrounds 24. It's absolutely wild.
He just beat it this last week, didn't he?
Did I gotta go back?
I believe so. I think he's the first. Is he the first person to beat it? It is it's Hackers or Hacker Dream, and it is meant to be one of the hardest, near impossible hacks as far as I know. I watched some of that as well, and it was ridiculous.
It's wild. I don't even understand what's going on. It's just muscle memory. But
yeah,
it's
that last level has
I'm gonna have to check that out.
That last level has basically the Mario Maker 2 teleportation glitch throughout the whole thing. If you've seen any of those levels recently with the exploit teleportation glitch, it's basically that with seizure-inducing backgrounds.
Wow.
Sounds nice. One thing I've got to say to you, Isherwood, playing a couple of your levels, I like, because I played your world. I beat your world that came out, was that last year or a little bit before that? I can't remember. The time is weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometime last year.
I don't know how you did it, but your style is so similar to ROM hack style. And I appreciated it so much because like you have a lot of Super Mario Maker style levels I played. It's like, hey, let's just throw a bunch of tricks together. Let's do like a trick followed by trick followed by trick. But you had like just these tough, difficult sections. The trick is just beating the section, timing your jump, doing it right. And I love that. And it seemed more ROM hack style. And your world was so much fun, and I appreciated it big time. That just the different style of play.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was playing a lot of ROM hacks when I made that world, and was definitely influenced by kind of what I was playing at the time. So I wanted it to feel less chaining tricks together, like you said, and more of a platform focus, but with that Mario Maker kind of twist to it.
I don't think I've ever personally played an Isherwood level yet, but I've seen Pops, Mike play quite a few of your levels, and I've seen a former guest, Chess WC, play a lot of your levels. And it's really funny, like, you have style. Like, they just, like, the tricks aren't just one trick and then you pause. Like, everything really has such a flow to it, to the point where Pops was playing one of your levels, I think, last week, and I said in the chat, is this an Isherwood level? And he was like, yeah, and I had never seen the level. I just could tell from, like, the flair that it was you.
That's cool to hear. I don't feel like I have a personal style when making. I just I get in there and just put things where it feels good to have them, right? And so I do focus on flow most of all, I think. How does it feel to get from point A to point B is the most important thing now. But my making style has evolved a lot over the years that I've played the game too, and I haven't made anything in quite a while, but definitely you can see if you go through my profile the different kind of eras of either what I was playing at the time or what I was most into.
Sure.
One of my favorite things I think is super underutilized in Makers, at least in the levels I'm playing, is just blocks on wings floating from right to left and having to jump on them after a trick and go through a couple. It's kind of like a quick, you do a trick, you land on the block, now you got to go right. And even the spin jump on breakable blocks, things like that, I wish there was more of in Mario Maker, and you always throw those into your levels, and I appreciate them big time. I love those sections.
Oh, cheers, thanks. Very, very ROM hack inspired, that kind of stuff.
It's funny. I hear people talking about the styles, like they could recognize other makers. It's funny because when I play Mario Maker, I purposely aim for the absolute worst levels to play.
Yep.
Like me, all it is for the most part, it's 0% levels that have never been beaten from 2019, which, that's absolute some of the worst levels you're ever going to play. For me, at least, when I go to Mario Maker, I really like garbage, if that makes any sense. Like I like playing absolute garbage levels. And it's to me, I enjoy that. I have played viewer levels in the past that are very good, and I do appreciate good levels, but I'm definitely, I don't know, endless garbage or 0% garbage. Old age is usually what I aim for. Which albeit doesn't always necessarily give me the practice to get really good at shell jumps. I've gotten better at them, but that it's a different type of challenge, I guess, when you start playing those type of things.
I love when
I
you
love
call
Maker for that reason, though. There's something for everyone, no matter what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You'll title those streams sometimes dumpster diving. That always makes me laugh when you're doing the uncleared 2019s and it just says dumpster diving.
Yeah. Every once it's always like, will we find the diamond in the rough tonight? And it's probably been like a year since we last found the last diamond in a rough or something like that. But every once in a while it comes up. So, Isherwood, I believe I've heard that you are going to GDQ. Is that right?
It's true. Yeah, first time.
Here. You wanna tell us about what's going on there? Where can we see what you're gonna be doing?
Well, at the moment, I'm a backup for the Mario Maker 2 relay race. So 4-on-4 relay race. I'm the backup if somebody for some reason can't make it. I'm not guaranteed to play this year. I did submit to run a ROM hack. Unfortunately, did not get accepted this year. I wasn't really expecting it to, but figured since I'm going anyway, I might as well throw my hat in the ring. So I'll be around. I'm really just excited to be there with everybody. There's a massive community of Mario people, both from Maker and ROM hacks that I know that are going. So really just excited to have a vacation, meet a bunch of people that I've been talking to for years, finally meet up in person and hang out with. But I'll be around everywhere. I'll be watching a lot of the runs and, I don't want to say fingers crossed that I'll be racing, but I am the backup. So maybe something will happen where I'll get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that'd be totally awesome. I'm sure we'll see it in the crowd during GDQ. We'll see it cheering up there
for sure.
Can't miss that hair.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know. Are any of you guys going this year? I know Cheese Pops, you're not going to make it.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. I heard last year was really fun. I'm traveling with a buddy and staying with another streamer. 3 of us rented a place together, so it's going to be a really good time. And there's some Mario Maker people that live there and kind of congregate in the Minneapolis area every year too. So it's going to be a party.
Last year was the first year I went to one, and I was like a kid in the candy store. Like, I go in and I'm like, I know that person. I know that streamer. Oh, I know. I've seen them. And oh my goodness, you know who that is. This is incredible. And it was a week long of me just geeking out. And then I think I mentioned this on the podcast before, but I'll never forget being in the elevator. The door opens, in walks Aura just walks in, elevator closed. So it's me and Aura. And in my head, I'm like, please don't cower it out. Just go, that's all you need to say right now, Cheese Pops. It'll be fine. The door opens, and I just go, good luck on the race.
Oh, my God.
That's all I could muster. I was so nervous.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the only response.
He's like, okay, thanks, and walked out. That's it. And that was my one chance to troll him live, and I missed it.
Wow.
You missed it. Oh, that's awesome, though. Just casual elevator run in there. That's awesome.
It's funny how we get starstruck with these people. They're just like us, they play Mario with a camera on them, but if I ever saw Barb in the wild, I would fangirl like I saw, I don't know, Lady Gaga or something. I would freak out.
I did that with Beachin too, and getting to meet Beachin. I'm like, all right, just go up. His mustache is so inviting. Just go say hi.
That's awesome. Also, I see in your background you have a guitar.
Bass guitar back here, yeah.
Bass guitar.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing? Are you in a band? How long have you been playing bass guitar for?
Well, I've been playing bass for, how old am I? Old. 25 years, I think, about. Started playing bass in high school. I've been in several bands over the years, semi-serious in the Northwest for a little while, but not in the past 6 years or so. But yeah, recently started doing some music on stream. That's why you see the bass behind me now, doing some live looping. Got some gear at the beginning of this year. Just because I was really missing that creative outlet. Twitch has filled a lot of that kind of creativity and performance, kind of scratched that itch that I've always had, because I've always been performing on stage, playing music of some sort since I think we had our first gig right after I turned 21, the band I was in at the time. And not having that in the past few years, kind of Twitch helped fill that gap, but I was still missing making music quite a bit, and just needed to get some things together, and finally kind of bit the bullet at the beginning of this year and got some gear. So I've been doing a little bit of musical interludes here and there on stream, just kind of learning the equipment that I have right now, but it's been a lot of fun getting back into it.
And you took like a week off, didn't you, to set all that stuff up?
Yeah, set everything up and just redid the setup in here, made it more ergonomic friendly. Rearranged basically this whole room, and I hadn't done any stream upgrades in like 2 years at that point, so it was kind of a needed refresh, just for the space that I'm in. And
you have a sample pad, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
It's like a drum pad.
SPDS Roland sample pad, yeah.
So you can, like, for those who don't know, you can loop sounds, and you can make like kind of live loops on it with your voice or with instruments and stuff. And I had this written down to talk to you about, because it's like I get so fascinated by the fact that it's just live, and you're creating an entire song live with the clap tracks. You make lyrics, you play a funky bass line, like you're drumming on the sample pad and looping it. Like, do you get nervous? Do you have ideas beforehand, or a bass line beforehand, or are you coming up with it on the fly? And also, I haven't seen yet how often you do this.
Right now it's just kind of when I have something, either something happened that day that kind of inspires a little ditty in my head, or I have something kind of pre-prepared. Everything I'm doing is kind of improv as we go, but I do have to have some loops or idea of what's gonna fit together, right? Same BPMs and same key, right? So
sure.
Right now I don't have like a keyboard or melody instruments besides the bass in my voice, and I'm not a very good singer. So right now it's a lot of finding samples, kind of getting loops together, what works, what doesn't, and then I've got the Roland drum pad in combination with a loop pedal, a six track loop pedal. And then the bass and a microphone right now, but looking to expand hopefully within the next few months with a keyboard, maybe a synth, and maybe get a guitar out of storage and start playing a little bit of that too.
I could see you with a microKORG, the little MIDI synthesizer with the vocoder.
I would love a microKORG. I've been looking out for one, yeah.
Ugh, mine collects dust. I need to use it more.
Send it to me. I'll play it.
It's a great element. It really makes you stand out from the crowd, and I personally have really enjoyed it a lot.
I played microKORG. We've talked about this before, Ashley, but I played microKORG and bass in the last band I was in, which is, I love that little synth. I think it has the coolest sounds. Yeah, looking to get something like that. Right now I've kind of been doing it about once a week, but I would like to I'd like to have it be a more regular part of the stream, but it is a lot of kind of preparation just to make sure that things are going to go right when it happen. And you asked if I was nervous. It's the most nervous I've been on stream since I started, honestly. But I've gotten a lot of good feedback and support from the community. So people seem to enjoy it when it happens, and I do want to do it a lot more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can we? Okay. A lot of us have something in common that's happened in this past month, and Ashley, you're having something that is going to be in common with this. We've all done very long streams recently.
Yes.
I had a 12-hour, which turned into a 14-hour due to some milestones that were met throughout it. But I ended up doing a 14-hour stream like 3 weeks ago. I can't remember what it was. Pops, you and Isherwood did, was it last week? I think it was.
Yeah, we both did last Saturday.
A 12-hour.
That was poor planning by me because I would have been at Isherwood's 12-hour stream the entire time. Because as soon as I found out about it, I'm like, well, I'm in too deep now, but I could have had just the most awesome set. Luckily, I can go back and watch the VOD. That's one cool thing about Twitch, and you absolutely killed it, bud. Like your voice is so suited for. Like I can listen to you 24 hours a day, 7 days. Your voice is like my zen. It just makes me feel so calm, cool, and collected.
I think I had announced what date I was going to do mine and came into your stream the next day and saw you that you had announced the same date. I think we both announced it at the same time, and I felt very similar. I said, maybe I should push mine a week, but then we had this going on, and I've got my dad visiting and stuff, and I was like, no, I got to get it done before it gets too far into the summer here. So
we were in too deep. Next time we'll have better planning.
Yeah. Pops, you did a Yoshi's Island, the entirety Yoshi's Island, right?
Yeah, it's a game I looked up like, hey, how long to 100%? And it was like 40 hours. I'm like, okay, so I can kind of work with that. I know I wasn't planning on beating the game, but once we got close, there was a line. I'm like, okay, if I push right now, because I wanted to do like 100% as many levels as I could first try. But that game does not mess around with its secrets. And like, that's back when it was Super Nintendo, so video game companies were still like, oh, boom, just slap you in the face for no reason, which I both like, but also I'm glad that era is done kind of situation. I'd go back if I want to be treated like dirt and play some Super Nintendo still. But it was different. It was pretty much blind, and yes, I 100% ripped that off after watching your streams, Dave. Like Poncho Talk, I loved your Yoshi's Island stream. It fits with the vibe of my stream already, but it's different enough. So I was like, all right, just stealing this, and it worked out well. It was a ton of fun, but for real, those take a ton out of me because my streams are 4 hours long, and I go like I put as much energy as I can into them. And after 4 hours, I am legit exhausted. And then trying to do that for I was down for like 3 days. And like I talk nonstop, but like that's what my stream is just as high energy as long as I can go. And usually that's about 4 hours. So it was I'm always super worried and anxious. So it's the 12-hour stream is fine, but the day before I am a wreck to be around because I'm so nervous I'm going to let people down. I'm so nervous something's going to go wrong. And afterwards, it's always such a relief when the whole thing, well, it was a dumpster fire, but it was like a prepared dumpster fire. So it's the day before that's the worst for me.
How do you sleep the night before a 12-hour stream?
Yeah.
Not well. It's nightmares, and it's terrible because I have all those anxiety dreams of like everything's going wrong. Why am I streaming Link to the Past? That wasn't the plan. It's always a game I wasn't planning on streaming that I'm stuck streaming. It makes no sense now. It's replaced my underwear in the classroom dream. Now it's like, I'm streaming Street Fighter, what? And it doesn't make any sense, but...
Speaking of which, you played Yoshi's Island to celebrate what?
It was 1,500 hours of Mario Maker 2, and so we played a different game.
Right. Anyway,
you didn't want it 1,512 hours.
No, it was just on brand. Just to like, it's now I think become the game I played the most in my life. So let's play something different for a little bit.
We touched on that. I have a 24-hour coming up, and I did a 24-hour stream 2 years ago, which I had no business doing. I had been streaming for a year. I didn't have a lot of followers. I didn't have a schedule. Like, I had absolutely no business doing a 24-hour, but I did it anyway. And people were saying like, oh, I could play video games for 24 hours. Like, yes, you sure could, but you have a light on you and a camera on you and you're staring at a white screen for 24 hours and you are entertaining the people who are there and you're talking constantly and it's just so much energy you are exuding, and 12 hours is a lot, like double that. And at the end, like it's a lot. It's fun and it's a huge accomplishment. And when I got to when that clock hit 24 hours, I was so proud of myself. but I could have slept for another 24.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just sitting there playing video games for 12 or 24 hours.
Yep.
Doing all the prep work for it, all the energy that's expended during it, all the multiple things that you're thinking about throughout the entire stream. You know, like you said, talking, interacting with chat, making sure that the stream's running properly, changing scenes, doing whatever, you know, you happen to do on your stream, or that anybody does on their streams is, until you do it, it's hard to imagine exactly how exhausting it can be. I have not done a 24-hour stream, but 12 hours. I've done a 15-hour, I think, is my longest. And yeah, I'm wrecked the next day, and usually the day after that too.
It's
you were. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna the end of my 12-hour stream. Literally, all you heard is like, "You love to see it. It's all over." Like my catchphrases. That's all. I was down to just those. Just struggling to get by.
Now, Isherwood, you were more structured with yours, right? Like I think I saw like you had like times on when you were gonna, you know, people can be like thinking, okay, you're gonna do some viewer levels during this time, then you're gonna be going over here doing this time. So people like had an idea throughout the day. You know, if there's like a specific time they want to, like, I think maybe play Mario Kart at some point too. If people want to jump in, they could prep for that and stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, I've done most of the recent 12 hours I've done have been more variety focused like that. I think it helps me. I used to do 12 hours of straight viewer levels when I first started doing 12-hour streams, which is a lot of Mario and a lot of strain on my hands. And honestly, my hands can't take it anymore. So I specifically put the schedule out in a way that I could kind of take breaks, both physically and mentally from playing some of the harder things, and incorporating community games. We play, like you said, Mario Kart, and we do Jackbox, usually during 12-hour streams too, which is a lot of fun. The community I have brings it with Drawful and Madverse City, which is just a blast to play with everybody in the community. So yeah, trying to incorporate some community stuff, keep it flowing throughout the day, keep me kind of engaged and moving, and breaking it up into the smaller chunks, I think, helps the day go a lot faster too.
In like a 24, you really want to also, like, if you're gonna do variety, you got to schedule the games in a way that like 16, 17, 18 hours in, you're going to be awake and alert. I saw somebody like play, like it was like the 20th hour of their stream, and they were playing a super snooze fest game, and they just looked like they were losing it. And I was like, dude, you gotta like get into some action right now and wake yourself up.
What's your caffeine strategy during those longer streams?
Me or anybody?
You.
Anyone, I guess.
I have, I mean, you can see it right behind me. I have a coffee pot in here. This is where I also do where I work from home. My other half of the desk over here is work computer and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, I just have a pot of coffee there, and it actually turns off at 5 o'clock every day. But otherwise, I just kind of keep that and refill it if I need to.
I do very little caffeine anyway. I do a cup of tea at the start of my stream, and on the weekends maybe a cup of tea here and there. I'm actually drinking an iced coffee today, which I barely ever drink coffee. But I think during the 12-hour stream, I think I had 2 cups of tea. But caffeine's not my vice of choice usually.
I used to be like a big energy drink person in my 20s, and now definitely not. I drink coffee every day, but for long streams like that, I'll tend to grab an energy drink or two for sure. Especially for a 24-hour, I'll probably have a couple at least.
I'm always like, for me, I do the tea thing too, and I love coffee. I love energy drinks, but I go like this, and then it's a quick crash afterwards, and I'm so afraid of the crash because I know I'm going to crash anyways. And that's always my big fear. So I do a couple cups of tea and try to keep it the same level of energy throughout. But 24 hours, I would literally die. At hour 13, it would just be a corpse in the chair, and you'd never see better gameplay on my stream.
It was like hours 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 that were the roughest for me, where I was like, I'm not making it. I was like, I'm gonna actually die from no sleep. Like that's got to be a thing. And then you just get this like second wind, and it's like you're a whole new person, and you just have this ridiculous like shaking energy for like the last few hours. And then I have seen this with everyone I know who's done a 24-hour. You think you're gonna end stream and go to bed, and you can't. You are still so hyped and like overtired that you just can't fall right to sleep. I think that my last one, I stayed up for another like 5 or 6 hours before I went to bed. Nuts.
Even a shorter stream, late night streams, which I do occasionally. I used to do quite a bit. There was a regular schedule, but stream until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then same thing. You're like, okay, I'll get to bed by 3:30 or 4. Nope, that adrenaline's still going. You're still kind of running through everything. Yeah, I can't. 24 hours of streaming seems crazy. I've done a couple 24-hour gaming marathons for charity, the Extra Life events we used to do through the company I worked at. And even just doing that, just hanging out in a room with other people, just playing games for fun, not talking, not being on camera. Man, that it ruined me for at least 2 days afterwards. So props to you. I mean, I'm excited for your 24-hour.
Thank you.
I used to follow a group, and they were doing stuff for charity too. And one of the guys did Rock Band 4 for 24 hours drumming. He is a drummer, like and not like huge bands or something like that, but he is in some bands. But he did, and he doesn't just have like the 4 parts. He actually has like a custom like drum kit for Rock Band that has the cymbals included and everything like that. Everything expert. And it was he said afterwards he actually went and made up an ice bath and just sat in that for a long time.
I bet that
and then
cannot be good.
Didn't fall asleep for many hours still. Yeah.
Wow.
It just insane what some people are able to do. It's crazy. But yeah, Ashley, I think it's really smart what you're doing with your 24-hour. You're starting it at night. You're starting it at night, because that way when hour 18 or 16 comes around, it's not at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, when like, a lot of your regulars, they're lurking, whatever. They're not chatting, right?
Right.
And you're kind of sitting there and you're not as talkative because chat's not going as fast and stuff like that. So I think it's really smart that you're starting at like 9 o'clock when you're starting, because, that's your normal start time. You get all your people in there, as the night goes on, people, they start to go to bed and stuff. But then once you're getting towards those more difficult hours of staying awake, being entertaining, that's when people are right back in there, getting hype in the chat and stuff like that.
I mean, I planned mine around Tears of the Kingdom. So, for example, like it's coming out at midnight during my 24-hour, and I'm starting at 9 p.m. So I'm going to do 3 hours of Mario Maker for my people that like don't want spoilers, and also like for that anticipation. And then as soon as the clock strikes midnight, I start Tears of the Kingdom for the remaining 21 hours. But I will say I thought about that a lot, and I wish that my first 24 I had thought of that, because I think I started my first one at 10 a.m. and the middle of the night was rough. Like I had people there. Thank God I had somebody that stayed up with me the whole 24 hours, and we were just chatting the whole time, and they vouched to do it again this time, and thank you to that person. But I now, like the 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning is only going to be like 6 or 7 or 8 hours into the stream, and not 18, 19 hours. So like my late hours, the sun may still be out. So I feel like it'll definitely help me stay awake for sure.
Smart too to probably schedule a game that you're so excited about, because and something that you've never played before that's going to keep you mentally engaged a lot more than maybe something that you've played for, thousands of hours or whatever.
That weekend happens to be Mother's Day weekend, and my mom was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, Mom, I have to save Hyrule. I hope that you understand. No, I'm kidding. I'll see my mom, but she like is amazing. She totally gets my obsession and stuff, but I'm very much looking forward to it.
I know when I did my 12-hour, then there was an incentive during it to extend it. I started at 10 a.m. My time, and there was an incentive that if it was met, we would go till midnight that night, and sure enough, we got it. But I was semi-structured in that I had a list. Like I was like, I don't want to play Mario. I play a lot of that I want to play some other stuff. I think at some point we did actually hit a ROM hack for a little bit, but not too long. But I had like a list of games that I won, and I just told everyone like, here's some cool games. Here's one or two that are community that people can play, and I was just like, we'll just kind of play it by ear. I'll just, as you're hitting here, I'll be like, hey, at 7:00, whatever, people are off work, we're gonna play this or whatever. At least for me and my chat, that seemed to work out pretty well. But it wasn't very structured, other than here's like a list of 6 games or 5 games we're gonna be playing throughout the day. And it seemed to work out pretty well. It went by very, very fast. Go ahead.
You kept going back to a game like in the middle of, right? Is that this 12 hour? Or was it the last one that you kept going back?
That was a previous one.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that was actually a creative strategy too. Like, it wasn't like super structured. You were like, here's the games I have in mind to play. And you just kept like going back to the same. I think it was Dead Cells?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great stream.
It was the first time playing. And
yeah,
I ended up, because I played it basically for like 5 hours straight, the first stretch. We started off with that. And it was a first play for me, and I liked it so much. Then we got to the other stuff, and I was like, I kind of just want to play some more Dead Cells. So we ended up just going back to that, and we played that for another like 2 hours at some point. So
I thought you were going to say Virtual Bart. You kept going back to Virtual Bart on the Sega.
Oh my god!
Couldn't get enough of Virtual Bart.
Just needed that water slide action.
Oh man!
I needed the what's that horrible tree level where you're just swinging?
Oh, the baby.
Yes.
I'm still so mad that Ashley beat that game. And like, you need better games in your life that you took the time to beat that one. It's just so infuriating to me.
I beat that game a couple of times, I think. I'm not going to lie. But it was like, remember, we've said this back on Ish, I'm sure you can relate. Like, back in the day, we had the games we had. Like, I couldn't just play a zillion games. So I remember I had that game at one parent's house that I didn't have a ton of games at. And I just, you had what you had during the summer, and I definitely played until I finished. And that game is jank and difficult, but I weirdly love it to this day.
It's not good.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, Isherwood, but there's a level where it's a water slide. You go down, you can either go left or right. Guess how you know which way to go? They don't tell you. You just have to guess. If you guess wrong, sorry, try again later, buddy. You lost a life. And is it random every time? Probably.
It is.
It's beautiful.
It's bad.
RNG Pick a Path. It sounds like pinnacle of game development.
So good.
Without any hints of what though, if you're potentially going down the right pipe or not.
Why did I die? Just cause. Try again.
Yes. It's so bad. It makes for fun stream content. Absolutely, though. Watching somebody suffer through all that. Cheese Pops, I gotta say something. I gotta express some disappointment.
Sounds about right.
I was in your stream, and I heard that we could potentially be talking with somebody other than named Cheese Pops. You were saying that your first Xbox username was like Mr. Farts.
Mighty Mr. Farts. You know?
Mighty.
I was Mr. Farts for a while.
Just imagine the first episode you were on. It was the title and said featuring Mighty Mr. Farts.
The worst part about that name, because that is the perfect 13 to 16-year-old name. You know, that's in the wheelhouse. I was 25 when I'm like, you know what? Mr. Farts is a great name. That's what I want to be known as in the community. Yes. I just thought, because I was playing Halo at the time, and I thought it was funny, like, you were killed by Mr. Farts. And Mr. Farts was taken, unfortunately, so I added the Mighty. Big fan of alliteration. So Mighty Mr. Farts, you were betrayed. 25 years old, I'm an adult. So if I go back in my Zelda games and stuff, my GameCube memory card, it's just Mr. Farts. And it's a reminder of how far I've come.
That's a great name.
It's fantastic. Let's move into what games are we playing? I know we play a lot online. And this could even be games that you're playing online, if you're playing them on Twitch, or if you happen to be playing something that is offline that you just kind of want to talk about. Like, okay, I'm playing this cool game, having a great time, and I recommend people check it out if they have not. I'll go ahead and start this one. I came across a game that I've wanted to play for a long time, and I finally had the chance to play, and I actually did do it on stream. I've not completed it yet, but it's a game called Unmetal. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with Unmetal, but basically it's an homage to Metal Gear Solid, except it's fully aware of what it is, and it's a comedy game. But it's an homage to Metal Gear Solid. It looks like a Metal Gear game, not Metal Gear Solid, but Metal Gear. It's kind of top down. It's not 3D. It came out in like 2021 or something like that. And I found it because some other big name streamers are playing it. And the game is legit. Like, normally video game humor is very cringe to me. I don't really find it funny. But this one is actually quite clever. And I find myself laughing while playing it. And it's basically, they take Metal Gear and they make it, there's no way you can make anything as crazy as Metal Gear, but they make it crazy still. And it's funny. And the gameplay is good, and there's just a lot of goofy elements to it that actually make it quite fun. And I would recommend, if anybody is a semi-fan of Metal Gear Solid in any capacity, do at least watch a playthrough of it. Play it if you can afford it. I think it's like $14 or something like that on Steam. I think on all the major consoles. But I highly recommend it. Very, very fun game.
It was fun watching you play it. Like, I was sitting on my couch laughing my butt off by myself out loud. Like, the game is just so, it's got a lot of adult humor in it, but it is hysterical, and your chat was absolutely loving it, and it was definitely great content, my friend.
Yeah, I really like it, and I highly recommend it. If anybody has any love for Metal Gear Solid, you'll get a kick out of it. Right away. You'll exactly know what this game is, just getting into it.
I've never played Metal Gear Solid. I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
No?
I haven't either.
Metal Gear Solid is something else. Like, I don't even know if I recommend Metal Gear Solid to people, to be honest. It's so convoluted. You understand 10% of the story he's trying to tell. But it's the craziest stuff you'll ever see in a game put on screen.
I'm not usually into that type of game, but yeah, give it a chance. I experienced it on GameCube, and it was
the Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes, and that was my first experience with it. And I've never played anything like it before or since. I beat 1, 2, and 3. Kind of like, I know there's more. Maybe at some point I've never had a PlayStation, so I can't play anything beyond 3 until I get a PlayStation. But they're a treat. They're different, and in a good way.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 4, I'll say, is exclusive to PS3. It's not on anything else, and I don't really foresee it coming out in anything else ever. From what I understand, the development process is very, very architected towards what was available on the PS3, and it's an absolute bear to like even get like emulators to run. Like, they just have the hardest time running that game specifically for some reason. So, and unless Konami, which we all know Konami's doing a whole lot right now, unless they somehow come out with something where they've remastered Metal Gear Solid 4, I don't think you'll ever see it on anything outside of the PlayStation 3 that runs it well. The game still looks good. Like I said, I just rewatched somebody play it in its entirety, and it was very entertaining, of course. But it can only be played on a PS3 still, which is wild to me. Ashley, what about you? Have you playing anything either on stream, off stream that you want to share?
So we all know the great love of my life is Super Mario Maker 2 at the moment. And I have been trying to challenge myself and do different stuff. Like, I'm not a viewer level streamer. I don't feel like I'm skilled at that level quite yet, but I try to find like different stuff to do. Like, I'm not good enough for the end list and everything. It's just not good content for me because I'm still learning. But I was like, let me try my first Super World recently. So it's not a secret that Bufflin is absolutely my favorite maker. And I tried his Super World. and I beat it. And then I just beat the second one this week. It was awesome. I had so much fun. I didn't know we could get the little animation at the end. I didn't even know. I was like shocked by that. I had no clue. But some of the levels I had played before because they were on the Get Good challenge I made for the most popular ever levels because Bufflin has so many in there. So I had seen some of them before. But the challenge is his world is 60 lives. So you have to beat all of the checkpoints in 60 lives. And there was that level that had taken me 8 hours to beat. Remember that Bufflin level?
Yep.
Took me almost 9 hours to beat this level when I had no clue what I was doing. I'm proud to say it only took me 2.5 this time, and it shouldn't have taken that long, but I was doing something really weird at the end that I realized. So progress, but that was fun. Doing a super world is fun. It almost had like a ROM hack type of feel to it, and I was like, I can't wait when my Super NT comes in to try getting my hand into ROM hacks. But that's my favorite thing I've done on stream. But off, I've just been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild. I'm trying to finish up my 4th 100% run, which is my first master mode run. I know you're shaking your head at me, Pops. All the Koroks. What is that? After I'm done with this run, 3,600 Koroks I will have collected. And I know people don't love them, but I like them. They relax me. So
I love them. I love that you're not supposed to get them all. That's why there's 900. You're supposed to get what you can find, and you don't get a reward for getting all of them. All you get is a little, you know what? I'm not even going to say it in case anyone wants it, but have fun. It's, yay, you got 900.
It's 6 years later. We can't say what you get for all the Koroks.
I think everybody knows what you get.
You get poop. That's all you get. Nintendo doesn't want you. There's no reason to do it. It doesn't help whatsoever. But I'm proud of you nonetheless.
Thanks. It's literally a golden poop that you get. It's called Hetsu's Gift, and it is just a giant golden poo, and it was worth it every time.
It just sits in your inventory. There's nothing you can do with it.
Correct.
Okay.
How many hours does it normally take you to find all 900 Koroks in 100% Breath of the Wild?
My first playthrough I ever did, which was on the Wii U, I not only 100% of the game, but I also got I upgraded all the armor. I got everything. I looked for everything you could do in the game to do it. I know I have between my 4 playthroughs about 1,600 hours into the game right now. I would say probably my pace, because I don't like to cheat. I like to try to find as many Koroks as I can on my own. And then when I'm really desperate, I'll look at a map online. But I would say for me, 100% run, because I play so casually, usually takes me somewhere around 300 hours. But I explore a lot too.
That's impressive. GG's for doing it. It's massively impressive.
So 300 hours to do each run?
I would say so.
It's a lot. That's a lot of Breath of the Wild.
It's my favorite game of all time.
I don't know what outside of Mario Maker 2, and that's just because I stream it. I don't know if I have any game that has even 300 hours in it. Unless we're talking maybe Mario Kart 64 back in the day or something.
Yeah. But for me, that's about all I'm playing right now.
I just finished a replay of Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, which I had not played in several years and just loved. Played a lot just handheld, put the TV show on, kind of play it real casually, hanging out with friends, have the sound down, just kind of grinding out some battles. And that game is super fun. I was very disappointed with Ni no Kuni 2. It was a completely different game that just took all the mechanics that I liked about the first one and threw them out the window. But Ni no Kuni 1 was really fun. And then I recently started a new playthrough of Bloodborne, which I am playing on stream, which was my first FromSoft game and still my favorite. And really enjoying playing through that again. It's been really fun and introducing a little bit more variety to my stream, which I haven't done in quite a while.
It's been really fun.
You said it's your second time for Bloodborne, right?
Second time for Bloodborne. I played it through when it came out, and then I picked it back up when the DLC came out and finished that. And then I think I poked around maybe in New Game Plus for a little bit. I don't really remember doing that, but based on the hours I have in the game, I think I just hit 200 hours total. Now playing through it again. And, but yeah, second, like, serious playthrough of it.
As an old, like, retro video game fan, I don't watch a lot of 3D games. It's weird calling them 3D, but there's 3 dimensions, but those games are so much fun to watch people stream. And, like, I had a blast watching you play it the other day. And it's cool to see those. Like, I'm too scared to play those games myself. I'm a coward, but it's fun watching a gamer just absolutely wreck those games. So appreciate you doing it.
It's been a lot of fun. I had probably the biggest jump scare on stream the other day. I am not fond of spiders, and I went into this room with lots of very big spiders, which is fine. I could see them, and they dropped from the ceiling and came at me. But one of them snuck up behind me when I was not expecting it and didn't hear it and turned around, and it was right in my face. And I was legitimately one of the most scared I have ever been in a video game. Just all of a sudden, a spider was attacking me out of nowhere, and yeah, sometimes it can be a little spooky.
Did you yell? Did you go?
I think I yelped.
You yelled? I need to see it because I picture your jump scares because you're so chill. It's just your eyebrows raise a little bit, just a little ooh, But if you actually yelped, I need that in my life. That might be my new alert.
I'm pretty sure I did. We also played Amnesia for Halloween this last year. It was chat got to pick a scary game for me to play, and I don't play scary games like normally. And most of me playing that game was just, why is this so scary? What is that? What is this noise? What's coming after me? And me just running from things and trying not to die, because you can't fight back in that game either, really. You just run and hope that you don't die. So that was terrifying. That was an interesting stream experience as well.
Scared Isherwood is something I did not realize I needed in my life. I know what I'm doing later tonight is finding that VOD and just chilling out and watching you be terrified. For me, I got a charity event coming up, so I've been practicing Cuphead. I haven't played since it came out, so went through, beat the game one round. Now I'm just trying to get to know all of the bosses, and that's been fun. It's like when that game came out, I thought it was going to be more Mega Man like run and gun, then get to a boss, but it's pretty much just it's a boss rush. Very similar. In my head, mentally, how I play the game is how I approach the Punch-Out games. Learn the boss, learn how to attack, learn how to dodge. Super fun. Amazing game. Can't say enough about Cuphead. Yeah. And then also Spelunky 2. I've been in a few streams of streamers playing. I got to play with them, and now I'm hooked. It is just the most jerk face of video games of all time. You could play it by the books and just get wrecked. I don't even know why they give you hearts. Because you get bit by a snake, it launches you into a bat, down into a trap that shoots an arrow in your butt, and now you're dead. Good job. Start over. And it's just, there's something about the mean. It looks so friendly, nice, and peaceful, but every step you take is a chance to just ruin an incredible run, and it's fun. And I love the brutality of it. I love watching people stream it because everything can be going fine. You're living the dream. I got Excalibur. Let's go. I got the Onk. Boom. Something just crushes you from above that you didn't see. You had no chance to dodge. Start over. Have fun.
Yep. But that game is very, very cruel at times. Like you said, why is there even a heart system? Because you're basically dead in one hit. Because so many things go wrong when you get hit that one time.
I love the hidden mechanics too. Because like just for an example, there was like golden statue. If you get the golden statue, it's a trap that comes down and kills you right away. So I know, avoid the golden statue. Oh, but look, there's this cute little dog that I want to get that's going to help me. So I jump on the dog, and you got to tame it. It's going to run left and right. But also, apparently, it shoots fire. So I jump on the dog, it starts running right, shoots a fire into the gold statue. 20 minutes of my life is wasted as lava falls and just kills me in one hit. And it's just, I love stuff like that in video games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good Spelunky 2 summary. It is a fun game, but yeah, it can be very punishing and cruel at times. Going back to Cuphead, I really liked Cuphead. And like you said, like I think a lot of people initially thought it was gonna be like a Mega Man style thing with like a cool boss at the end. But when I play it, I'm kind of glad that that's not how it ended up being, because they do have like a level towards the beginning where there is a little bit of platforming. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, the running gun sections are the worst part of the game, and you have to do them to get coins to get weapons. And it's not that they're bad; it's just the boss fights are so much more fun. And I'm glad they knew that. There's like 3 running guns, I think they call them.
Disagree. Like the platforming sections of that game are bad.
You think they're bad? I hate saying things are bad. You know,
honestly, I was very excited about Cuphead, and I thought it was just a boss rush game. And the platforming levels made me quit that game. I never finished it. I'm ashamed to say. I would like to. I really like the bosses, and I love the art style and the music. But the platforming sections were, I thought, so poorly done that it really it took a lot of the enjoyment of that game away from me. So but I would like to go back and play it again at some point.
If it helps to bring you back, you do not need to do them to complete the game. They are 100% skippable. And from the run that I've done, you can get 4 coins right away without doing any of them. You do the what do they call it, tutorial, and then this apple gives you 4 coins, and you can buy a weapon called the roundabout, and that pretty much that with the pea shooter is all you're going to need the entire game. But there's one boss where there's a weapon called the lobber. If you can suffer through the first running gun section and get the lobber, it'll make this one boss a little bit easier. But getting through the game without the coins and without the stuff is very, like, the pea shooter is great, and that's what I appreciate about it. And so that for the charity, I have to go through and beat as many bosses as fast as possible. I only plan on doing the running gun section for the lobber at one point, but just the first one, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I hate saying things are bad, but I agree. If they were gone from the game,
tastes, maybe.
If they were gone from the game, I'd be like, this is fine.
They were frustrating, in my opinion. I'll use that word.
And like a cheap frustrating, like a Mega Man 1 frustrating, like, okay, you're dead, start over. You're dead, start over. You're dead, start over.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll be worth picking back up for me, knowing that now.
I could see you playing it for sure.
Like I said, I liked the bosses, and I think the art style is fantastic. So it was one of those games I was a little disappointed that I didn't get into as much as I hoped I would.
Those bosses are, they perfected the one more time. They perfected the I'll get them this next time, and then it's 35 minutes later or something like that. They perfected that hook where it's like the difficulty is there. It's completely doable. It's just I just need one more try to get it done.
One more good run.
That one more good run, you start it and you get hit 3 times in 2 seconds. You're like, that was not it. That doesn't count. Next one.
Absolutely.
Sounds like Mario.
Absolutely. Let's move into emails. We do have one email that was submitted to us. It kind of goes with a little bit we were talking about before, but I wanted to kind of keep the conversation focused where we were. But let's go ahead and Ashley, I gave you the email if you wouldn't mind reading it for us.
Sure. This email says, what was your first ROM hack? Also, will you ever win a game of marbles? And this was sent in to us by our dear friend and gamer, Donald.
Donald, I won marbles this week, and if you missed it, you need to go back and check Cheese Pops' clips, because it is fantastic. Ooh. One of the greatest marbles victories of all time, I gotta say. Cheese is cracking up. I could tell. No, I'm awful at marbles. It's terrible. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm bad at marbles or what the game has against me. Honestly, it hurts my feelings a little bit. I feel like I should win every once in a while. But there was a glorious victory just the other day. Just perfect. First hack I played, so we did talk about it a little bit earlier. I started with Learn to Kaizo. Like I said, I played maybe a quarter of the way through that, and then I did I did Moo World actually first, which was very easy until one level that was extremely difficult, where you're bouncing on you're spinning on a big bouncy ball, one of those big orb things, through a field of ghosts that appear and disappear. And it was extremely difficult at the time. Now I'm sure it probably wouldn't be that bad, but it was a big difficulty spike in that one, but a really good first hack. And then I did Quickie World 1 and Quickie World 2 after that. And then people told me I should have reversed the order because Quickie World 2 is a little bit friendlier as a first hack. But Quickie 1 and 2 were both really fun to play. After that, I think I did Cute Kaizo, just some of the kind of basic beginner hacks that most people recommend before kind of jumping into things like Silencio and El Dorado were kind of the jump ups for me that I remember the most. But just, I didn't do the QQ AIDS like everybody says. I did do Akagari, not too far into my ROM hack journey, and then Invictus was the big first step up into difficulty for me too, but I'm not going to play Dram or Storks. I'm not interested in those.
For marbles for me, on the Cheese Pop stream, I won a game last week as well.
Nice.
Yay. I've won a few games, quite a few games in marbles, but on my birthday, my birthday was last Wednesday, I just kept coming in second place. So sad day. I tried.
To give more context to the Isherwood win, I'm a family friendly streamer. I'm just too big of a dork. I tried swearing before, it came out as disingenuous, so I just went full in. Let's keep it family friendly. And this level was not family friendly, to say the least. And if Isherwood could have won, if I could have picked a more perfect level for Isherwood to absolutely just crush it, it was the perfect storm. And I had to mute my microphone because I was ugly laughing and I couldn't breathe, and it was just so perfect that is Isherwood's marble finally decided to step up, and it was this completely inappropriately designed level, and it was perfect, and I loved it.
Cheese's face when realizing what the level was a classic stream moment.
Absolutely.
You're like, this is the one. It's my time to shine. Let's
Here
go.
we go, Marble. We've waited our whole lives for this.
It was amazing. I was there. It was hilarious.
He shot right in.
It was awesome. To finish, I've never personally played a ROM hack yet. I've watched all of these fine gentlemen play ROM hacks. I've never seen Pops play one yet, but I've definitely seen Dave and Ish play ROM hacks. I'm super interested, and most people know I have a Super NT in the works from Analog, so I'm super excited when I get it to try my first one.
It's gonna be exciting. You're gonna love it.
I think so too.
About you, Pops?
It's always been in the works to do ROM hacks eventually. I played a few. Diagonal Mario I beat before I streamed, just to see if maybe this is something that I could do. I played Grand Poo World 2. That was the first one that I tried. And I beat the first level after many wheat sodas, and I was pretty proud of that. And I called the wife in. I'm like, I did it. I beat level 1. Maybe I can do this. She's like, hey, leave me alone. It's 1 a.m. and I have to work the next day. So I told her the next day and got a more positive response. But since then, I have not gone back in. My thought process was, hey, stick to Maker until you're comfortable with your skill level. But then that's kind of, I think now is a bad approach, because all right, I want to get as good as the good people, but they keep getting better. Isherwood keeps getting better and better and better, and it's not fair. And so I keep wanting to get better and better and better. And at some point, I'm just going to have to dive in. And I think I'm going to do what I do right now is with evening streams, do that more variety. Like, hey, let's do something a little bit different. Keep my day streams to Mario Maker 2 to keep that mostly consistent. But then, Monday nights and Friday nights, let's get weird with some Cuphead. Let's get weird with some ROM hacks, because I do. My big fear is when Grand Poo World 2 came out, it was such a community experience, and it was so much fun to go from this person's stream to this person's stream to watch everyone share in this same community thing, because you could see, this person tried that level. Now I want to see this other favorite streamer try that level. And I know Grand Poo World 3 is coming out, and I'm probably going to miss that boat. And that's something that is disappointing, but maybe, Grand Poo World 4, the next time this huge ROM hack comes out, I want to be a part of that really badly. And I'm by avoiding playing ROM hacks, I fear that I'm gonna miss out on that. And that's something different. So Mario Maker does have things like that worlds that come out that everyone plays. But I want to experience something like that really badly at some point.
Yeah.
I think my first ROM hack was Slurgery.
Yeah.
If anybody's played that one. Basically what I did is when I looked at my stuff to start was, I think Barb had a list of things that he would recommend, which apparently is much different than the ones that I guess most people recommend. And I was like, oh, let me just go with what he was doing. And it was Slurgery. It's only like 6 or 7 levels long. And it's definitely difficult. Very fun. Very absolutely fun to play. The last level definitely does ramp up the difficulty quite a bit, which is fairly common, I guess, for hacks to do so. But very fun. And then recently, there's some other one. I think it's Super Princess Peach World or something like that. Or Peach's Adventure.
Peach's Adventure, yeah.
Not Kaizo, just a super fun hack. You play as like Peach. And just really fun. Just really, really fun. It's not difficult. It's standard difficulty, non-Kaizo, normal. Super fun. And then I played quite a bit of Jump Half, which is like the never-ending ROM hack, which is like, I don't remember. It's like over 100 exits. It's kind of a collaborative effort. This one was many creators in there and stuff like that. And I think I'm done with it for now, though. I kind of came across a puzzle level, which I kind of got really annoyed with finally. The rest of it's been very fun. I've enjoyed it up until like this one level just kind of really got to me after a while. And I was like, all right, I think I'm done. I played like 74 exits. I think I'm done for now. That's a long hack.
Yeah.
But as far as marbles go, I'll say, I will say that I won marbles on my stream last week. We do a thing where we have a small daily sub goal. If we get it, we'll do a marbles tournament at the end. And so we got it, and sure enough, I win the tournament. And someone's in chat, they're like, "Wow, I can't believe we got the sub goal so we can watch Poncha win his own tournament." And I was like, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But no, I won. It's been a while since I've won that or something. But that was funny, of course.
I'm just going to say it. There is nothing stupider in this world that I love more than marbles on stream. Because it is just, hey, there's my name. It's all random. There's no skill. And if I win, I'm like, I did it. Let's go me. And if I lose, I'm like, well, not my fault, you know. And yet I still... We play video games to get those endorphins, and it doesn't make any sense that Marbles releases said endorphins. And yet, still, if I win any match of Marbles, I sit there and I just pat myself on the back for a job well done.
Go ahead.
I'm a little salty with Marbles at the moment, despite my recent massive victory. We were talking about GDQ, huge victory. We were talking about GDQ earlier, and that I'm the backup for the Mario Maker 2 race. There were 2 backup racers waiting in the wings, and one person did end up not being able to make it to GDQ. So we decided we would play marbles to determine which backup was going to take their place. And I am not exaggerating when I tell you I've never been more angry at a video game when I lost those 3 games of marbles, which everybody saw coming. No, I think I won one, and neither of us finished the second one, and then I think I fell off right near the end of the third one, and they took the victory. Props to them. They're going to do a great job on the race. But I was legitimately furious at the game of marbles that day. And it's like she said, it's such a dumb thing to be upset about. It's just it's a completely random. There's nothing you can do to make it any better.
It's as low as it gets when it comes to video games. It's like those old like NES games of horse racing, and you just bet on a horse. There's no skill or whatever, and yet I love it. It's a huge part of my stream somehow.
And like as a streamer, like you said, there's no control. But as a streamer, you do have to go to the last place or make fun of them every time. Like it's a requirement. Like you have to make fun of them for getting last place.
What are you doing? Your marbles a Rubik's Cube at this point in time, covered in molasses.
I've
and then as a streamer, no matter, chat's always cool with whoever wins, but if you win one time, everyone calls rigged immediately. The chat is full of rigged, so rigged.
I've wanted to bring marbles to my stream for a long time, so I downloaded it last week, and I was so excited I was going to surprise everybody and play marbles. Yo, I got to give y'all marble streamers credit with the way you work that camera. I could not for the life of me figure it out. I mean, I'll eventually like sit down and actually try, but that takes a lot. Like, you are like not only like the facilitator, you are the announcer and the cameraman, and that takes a lot. So props to y'all who do marbles on your stream.
Yeah, it has the WASD. You're also using the mouse. You're using E and Q to go up and down and stuff. It is quite a bit.
I'm looking at my keyboard now because I've never done it either.
It's quite a bit for sure. Absolutely.
I do get people that ask me if we should do marbles on stream, but then I say no. Cheese Pops does that. You can go there instead.
There you go.
They'll never show up. They can't go from good gameplay to my gameplay. They'll be like, what is this guy trying to pull?
All right. For our listeners, again, that was an email that was sent in. If you have a question for us, a comment, a criticism, which I take and I throw those directly into the trash, you could just send an email to email@arcadeparlorcast.com. Again, that's email@arcadeparlorcast.com. You can also send a voicemail if you'd like your voicemail played on stream to, I got to pull it up here. I literally just had this up. We'll get it in a second here. Or you can join the Discord of Arcade Parlor. You can drop a voicemail there, and we are available there in the Discord. So the phone number is 402-915-1082 if you want to leave us a voicemail. We are coming up on the end of the podcast here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go around the room, a moment of self-promo as well as anything additional that you would like to add that maybe you didn't get a chance to talk about just for a brief couple minutes here. But we are going to be in the last little bit here. Ashley, why don't we start with you?
Hello, I am Ashley Florida, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. The only thing I'm really like just so excited, obviously, is just Tears of the Kingdom. I talk about it all the time, and I've been counting it down since over 200 days. So it's finally upon us. When this releases, it'll be 4 days till. So you can find me. I'm on twitch.tv/Ashley with 2 E's _FL. I normally stream Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday evenings, and it's normally Mario Maker. May 11th is my 24-hour stream. It starts at 9 p.m., goes all the way through to Friday at 9. Very, very, very excited about that. I'm also on YouTube. I put out weekly content. It's the same thing, Ashley _FL, and I also put weekly content out on my TikTok, which it's Ashley _Florida, all spelled out.
Awesome. Isherwood, where can we find you?
Thank you guys once again for having me on. This has just been a blast. I really appreciate getting to chat with y'all. So I'm Isherwood81, basically everywhere. I'm on twitch.tv/Isherwood81, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific. I play mostly Mario, but like I said earlier, getting into a little bit more variety, and we will be playing Tears of the Kingdom starting week after next, I believe. This week I hit a couple milestones. I had a video on TikTok take off and get over 300,000 views. First time that I've seen that kind of viewership there, and we hit 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Nice.
I put up 3 short videos daily on TikTok and 3 shorts daily on YouTube. I also do longer form content on YouTube about once a week when I have the capacity to get all that editing done. I'm currently working on editing down the 12-hour stream that I did last week into a condensed too long didn't watch version for YouTube. So yeah, you can find me basically everywhere. I also just started an Instagram if you want to find me there, but I'm working on kind of the scheduling for that, so it's not as consistent as YouTube and TikTok at the moment. But Twitch is the best place to find me.
Awesome. Mike, what about you?
Wow, that was I should have cleared my throat. That sounded terrible. But that's in line with the stream. I'm on Twitch, usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. When do I stream? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go for some time, and then we don't. Sometimes in the evening, Cuphead. We're trying to get more evening streams in. It's just a different vibe, different feel. So I'm going to be trying some of that. But, I just want to spend a little bit of this time just, Isherwood, how much your stream means to me and how much you set the standard for what I wanted my stream to be. And don't take that as an insult. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to get better, but I'll never forget watching you play, watching you handle yourself when I first got into streaming and, just reaching out to you and you being 100% available saying, hey, try this, do this. And I want you to know how much I appreciated that and how much I appreciate you still. You set the standard, buddy. And I promise one day I will be as good as you. You might have to go into a coma for a while for that to happen, but you do. You're one of my heroes, bud, and this meant a lot to me to have you come on here. So thanks, buddy.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks, man.
And for me, you can find me at twitch.tv/PontroTaco. That's usually where I'm at. And playing the Mario. I'm taking a short break right now. I'll be back on this coming Wednesday. When you get this, it'll be, the Wednesday after you get this. My wife is out of town for a couple of days. I'm here with my oldest daughter, and because my stream room is in the detached garage, I need to be available for her when she's sleeping and stuff like that. So I'm taking a couple nights off. Gotta be a dad, doing dad stuff. But I'll be back when you guys are listening to this on Wednesday. I will be back to the normal schedule of Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, all 9:00 p.m. Eastern. With that said, a couple last things for Arcade Parlor to talk about. If you guys missed it, we did do our first live stream 2 weeks ago on April 22nd. April 22nd, we played through the entirety of TMNT Shredder's Revenge on twitch.tv/Arcade Parlor. If you missed that, look up Arcade Parlor on YouTube. The whole VOD is there. It was a great time. It's basically basically a free podcast episode. I'll tell you that much, because we talk about everything all the time. If you want an extra podcast episode and you didn't catch that, listen to that, watch that. Very, very fun thing there. One other thing to announce for Arcade Parlor is our very next episode. We're going to bring it to you live at twitch.tv/Arcade Parlor. We're going to be doing our very first live podcast recording next month, which that recording should be June 3rd. June 3rd. We will, obviously, if that needs to change, we will communicate that via all of our social medias and the Discord as well. For everything Arcade Parlor, go to arcadeparlorcast.com. It has all of our links that you can find us, the Discord, YouTube, Twitch, everything there. But I'm super excited. Our next episode is going to be live, everyone. I think it's going to be a really fun dynamic to try to do a live episode and then still publish our episode for those who would have missed it.
I'm excited for it because, we're all entertainers here. And so This is an audio medium. But even though it's an audio medium, there's so many visual gags that we are doing in the background that no one can see. And a lot of unnecessary flexing, a lot of smooching going on for no reason. And we are constantly amusing ourselves and each other. And just to add that visual element is going to be an absolute, right now, no one can, I'm not even going to say what's happening, but someone is doing something hilarious. And you are going to be able to see that next episode.
Is that a Weird Al Funko Pop?
You're not supposed to say it.
Oops.
Oh, yes.
Amazing. Again, for our listeners, go to arcadeparlorcast.com for all of our links. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere, give us 5 stars. We would love it. 4 stars you can give to every other podcast in your list, but 5 stars exclusively for us, please. We would greatly appreciate that. With that said, this has been episode 9 of Arcade Parlor, episode 10 coming next month. I'm sure we're going to have another amazing guest on here, as we've been able to do, and we're going to keep that going. Isherwood, again, thank you for joining us. I had a great time here.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been really, really fun.
The legend! He's so good at the game. Go watch his stream, go watch his YouTube, his TikToks. Just the chillest, coolest dude of all time. Go
Big
there
agree.
now.
Thank you so much, Ish.
Thank you. Thank you.
With that said, adios.
Bye.
Cheers.
Goodbye. I messed that up. I choked the end so hard. That was redo it. Redo the podcast.